Hello.
Hey, Andrea. Oh, I love Andreas. Snap photo. Hey, Dea. How's it going? Are you still in Florida? No. Okay. Cool. We were just gonna be waiting a few minutes.
7 in the morning here.
Oh no!
Wow.
Thanks for waking up,
Cool.
man.
Yeah. Do you have a good coffee, Andrea?
Yeah.
Tea. I'm gonna have tea soon.
All right.
Yes.
Cool. Cool.
hmm Okay. Love how you're playing DJ music already, Andreas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Can we do any specific song requests or no?
I sometimes do this in trainings when I ask people, hey, write on the board what is your favorite song when you want to focus.
Yeah.
I can play that. And if you don't like the taste of your colleagues or my taste, usually I hear drum and bass,
Oh, drum and
then
bass is good.
they can just mute me and then
Yeah.
unmute
Yeah.
everyone when we come back.
But drum and bass is a good like morning starter for Dea in that case. Hi Nadia. Hello.
Hi.
Hey, hey. Let's just wait for more people to join in, guys. But
Yeah.
yeah, that would be awesome. Cool. While we're waiting, maybe I'll put up a bit of a poll first. So I'd love to know who is actually new or who's a regular here. So
Yeah.
we can cool. Mhm. Hi, Molly.
Hello.
Hello. That was a very short and sweet answer. How are you guys today? I'm seeing a bunch of. Oh, I love that it's a mix of new and regular people right now. That's really cool.
Oops.
Okay, maybe we can just. I'll keep the waiting room on pause for now, so people can just
Yeah.
automatically join in. And I think we should be able to start. Let's just wait one more minute. Let's try to hit 20 people, and then we should be good. Hope that's okay with everyone. Quick.
Not for me. I'm going.
That's always good knowing when our host is the first one to leave.
No,
That's what you
just
call a
kidding.
German party. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I just go to the cellar to have fun. I know. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think now that we're 20, I'd love if we can start. I'm gonna end the poll, guys. So if you haven't answered yet, and I think we have 14 out of 13 participants who voted now, which is a bit of a more than 100% answer. Let me put that up. Okay.
All
Okay,
right.
I love that. Thank you guys for or thank you, Andreas, for entertaining it with that music while we're waiting for people. I'm super glad that it's a mix of old and new people here in the ButterMixer. And again, like, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us, guys, especially for the new people who are just joining us. ButterMixer is essentially our workshop series wherein we have people coming in, or people from facilitation, UX, creatives, and design, united all together to sort of inspire each other and connect with each other in order to improve their workshop facilitation techniques. So this is our seventh round now, and I'm super happy to see that it's a mix of regular and old people. Seems like it's almost like a 30-70 ratio at this point. So I'm glad you guys are continuing to go back if you're really feeling connected and inspired with this sort of thing. And today, it's a super duper exciting topic that we have actually. Like, it's going to be all about bridging online and offline facilitation. And we have Andreas with us today. I think. Oh, who who isn't just going to be our lead facilitator today, but also was playing DJ earlier. So he's the owner and founder of Bridgehouse, which is essentially a facilitator network of coaches, trainers, and independent facilitators who are able to who. Sorry, okay, not. And he's going to be taking us through the whole session today. As I mentioned, it's going to be all about bridging online and offline facilitation, and it will be a very interactive session. So we actually expect all hands in today in terms of like contributing ideas, sharing their inputs, in terms of how do we bridge the idea of what you used to do offline in order to improve your online workshops. Okay, and I think I'll turn over the stage to Andreas now because he's gonna be taking us through his own thing. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let me
So
spotlight
welcome,
you.
first of all, everyone. Yeah. So thanks, Jessica. You gave all the introduction on myself already, and I'm going to get you on a Miro board, which I've prepared for today, and to just quickly get you there. And of course, it's now not loading where it should be. I'm going to summon you in a minute when it stopped loading in my case. Or let me just navigate while it's loading. It has a couple of images in there, so maybe that's the thing. So let me start my navigation. So welcome, first of all. I tried to only use picture with butter in there, of course. And just briefly, as Jessica said, I'm not the founder, but I'm a co-owner of Bridgehouse. We're a collective of like 25 people, coaches, trainers, workshop facilitators, consultants, in different roles, and we share one, let's say, set of values and the passion, I guess, with all of you, to help people grow and organizations grow and tap into their potential. So why should I be qualified to tell you something about bridging offline and online techniques? Honestly, I'm not. I have no clue. Maybe 2019, 2018, 2017, I was doing trainings, physical life trainings. I use lots of props and equipment. And then there was 2020. And then I had to think about, I used to play a game, for example, with buzzers in the info rounds and have people buzz on certain things. And then, how can I do this online, right? Luckily, I met Jacob again in my life, and he was already preparing a soundboard. So, this is how it started. And, if you look at the soundboard, this is how it's going right now, right? So that's the cool thing that helps bridge offline and online. But I had time and again different situations where I had to think about, okay, how can I do this? And another thing I have to tell you is, like, if you can see this in the image, that's the magic stick. There are no magic stick answers like, okay, this is what you need to do in that situation. It depends on the context, it depends on the tool you use, on the group you have, and on your objectives. So what we want to focus on today is I want to provide you with a framework, and then we will test it so that you work on the challenges or the desires, the ideas that you have. But before we start, let's see who is in here today. So I'm summoning you on that page here. And I want to know, in that little, cross, you can grab a hand up there in the screen and just place it somewhere. I just pick mine because the one axis is we want to know how much offline, like real life workshop training experience do you have? Did you do offline workshops before, real life, workshops and so on? And how much, same question for the online world. So how experienced are you in offline and online facilitation? So when you put your hands up here near the flip chart up there, it says, it feels like I've done 1,000 online trainings, workshops now. And I also used to do the thing in a live format as well. So just grab the hand and put it where you are. And it looks like you're quite an experienced crowd, just seeing what you're doing here. Okay. Now, another thing what we want to ask you is, what kind of perspective do you come in with today? Are you mainly a workshop facilitator? Are you mainly a trainer? Are you a consultant, or are you in a company and you are in online meetings and then you have to facilitate meetings? Or are you a coach? I do coach people online. So just grab a pin, and of course you can have multiple answers. So I would say in my role here today, I'm a trainer, and I'm also facilitate meetings when I'm in a consultancy role. So let's just know where you are.
This is such a great visual format, by the way, to to place participants.
And I want to give credit if you ask about those icons. That's not the standard vanilla stuff in Miro already. It's cool what is there, but a good friend of mine, and we did the trainer education to become a trainer. You know, in Germany, everything has to be a clear process, certified, everything. And we did this together. And he's a visual facilitator. And I asked him for a set of graphics and icons to spice up my Miro boards. So we seem to have a good collection of facilitators and consultants or people doing meetings. So cool. And a couple of trainers and a coach. That's cool. Now, final thing, what we want to understand from you is, where are you right now? I understood, Andrea, I think you got up quite early today. And yeah, you should be able to pick a sticky, this location pin. I'm just summoning you here. You can zoom out again and then place it for myself. I'm located in Berlin, in Germany right now. So let us know where you are. Oh, someone moved. Okay. Oh, it seems like I didn't lock this frame. Okay.
This a bit, like, if you don't know your geography, this can be a bit of a challenging one, but this is good.
Oh, that's cool. People from Spain, South Africa. I think that's, it looks like India. Please correct me. Okay, is it Florida, Andrea? Wow, cool. You know, I guess I envy you, because here in Berlin, the weather looks like this, right? Somehow. Okay.
But Berlin is my favorite city in the world, so I envy you too.
Oh, yeah. I love Berlin too, I have to say, but it's not the same when the clubs are closed and the restaurants are closed. But hey, we'll get over it. Okay, cool. So there is a nice international distribution, also a strong European presence here. I like that. There's one pin between, is that somewhere in the ocean? Is that a specific island north of Scotland, or somewhere? Are you on the boat? Let us know. That looks interesting. Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm just summoning you here. So let us know in the chat where you're located. So, and we have 1 hour, and I know I need to be super tight on timing. I also do intercultural trainings, and it's statistically proven that the Germans have a thing with timing and being punctual. And I'm not the typical German you might notice then, but still, let's have a look and keep this going. So what are we going to do today? We just, tried to get a grasp of you as the audience, did some introductions. Next, we're going to ask you for your expectations. For this, I will give you some pre-briefing, and then we want you to vote on your expectations to see what is the most popular request or desire in the room. And then you, all of you, are going to get creative. I show you some creative methods for this, and then we just send you in breakout sessions, and you are going to work on what you want to take out of this session, okay? And in the end, we're going to ask you to present your top ideas with a little bit of a time pressure, okay? So, Jessica, while you set this up, Jessica is going to open the poll and is going to ask you what are your expectations? And I'm closing. Can I close Miro? No, it overlays over Miro. And before you answer, hold on. What is it that you want to take away from this session? So you might come here, like, just speaking of myself, look, sometimes I do a training and people come back after the break and I see they're online, but I don't see them. They don't have the camera on, they're muted, and I don't know, are they with me or are they still, drinking coffee and checking the emails and everything? So what could I do in order to activate them so I know everyone checks in and gives a clear signal that they're back and online and we can start? Typical thing. Or I want people to work with, and I notice that it's often the extroverts talking a lot, presenting a lot, and the introverts take a step back. How can I activate them? So I'm asking you to write into this field a sentence. I want to. It's about your needs. So I want to take from this session a technique that helps me doing this, that avoids this and this, that creates this kind of thing. So what is it that you want to look into when we talk about bridging online and offline? And while
I think
you're
I'll
voting,
be playing a bit of a timer here.
you play some time music? Okay, I was just about to say. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So you all should be able to see a window now where you can scroll through the answers. And what you want to take out of this. So Antonia says she wants to see how Butter feels like as a participant. Okay. So just getting used to it. All right. This will be a side effect, I guess. Effectively facilitate in hybrid situations. Inspiration on how to run crowd engaging workshops. Okay. How to create more energy when facilitating workshops. Okay. Pavel, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. How to do role play situations and conversation practice while online. That's cool. How to create intimate safe spaces, information on a set of skills needed for online. Okay. Okay. Now, what we ask you to do, and we give you another minute to do this, just scroll through the answers and click on those answers here, those requests or desires, to upvote them, because afterwards we will want to see what are the top, let's say 4 or 5 answers that we will go, all of you will go and look into in a bit more detail. Okay.
Can everyone upvote? Please.
You cannot upvote after the poll is.
Okay. One thing I can do is I'll put everything in the chat, and while Andreas is doing the voiceover, can you guys just put a quick thumbs up? Cool. Thank you.
Okay, so you put it in the chat, Cheska?
Yes.
Then just take your time putting it into the chat, and I do something in the meantime. Don't worry. So I want you then to focus on what I'm going to show you in the Miro board, and then we do the quick voting afterwards. Okay. So in preparing for this, I've asked myself and a couple of my peers, hey, what kind of techniques are we actually using when we do workshops, trainings, when we facilitate in general? And so I created with their answers a little mind map, which you have here when I'm summoning you right now. So there are we have introduction rounds, we have competitions, we have goodbyes, we do recaps, we have role plays, we collect tasks and to-dos after the after a workshop maybe, and we put this into a plan. We give feedback. We have full group work, small group work, maybe have a walk and talk. We gather opinions, we have discussions, and so on. There might be presentations, there might be a part of storytelling. So these are general techniques in terms of categories that we came up with. And it's not crystal clear and sharp. Maybe a quiz can also be a competition, of course. But just to give you an idea what kind of tools and techniques you probably are using today and the way you're using it. You could gather opinions by asking people to write this on a piece of paper, to write this into the chat, to write this into a forum. You could create a WhatsApp group and post it there. That's the way you could gather opinions, right? And if you feel there's something missing here, just put it on there. There are a couple of yellow stickies there already, and you should be able to grab one. And if you double click on it, you can write on it and then put something. Yeah, randomize. Yeah. Can we get some dice? I'm so feeling with you. I love playing with dice in my trainings. And is there a way to do this online? Yes, there is, but maybe I disclose that later on. And that's the perspective of what kind of techniques are we using. Cheska, yes.
Yes, we also have most of the answers already on chat, so I can see that people are starting to upvote. If you can also just upvote your preferred topics, please do so.
Cool. Okay, cool.
Sorry, I came in later. Could it be possible to send again the link to the Miro board?
Yes.
Thank you. Sorry.
So it's not open for you, right?
Yeah, no, I can't see it on the chat. I joined a few minutes later, so I can't see.
Let me send, but you should be able to see it on the screen. If not, maybe it's with the ad blocker that you have turned on. But I can send it to you on DM, Gisela. If that helps.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, cool. Now, so that's the perspective of what kind of techniques are, like, we try to come up with categories. What are we using? And the other thing is, as a facilitator, what kind of offline tools and instruments did I use? I have a host of props here. So like the buzzer, dice, the magic stick. We might sometimes play with balls and play catch or something. There might be other things that you use in online trainings. For example, I use my little friend here. Maybe you can see that in the picture. Like, I mean, what keeps us from using other things and toys and stuff like that, right? Sometimes, I mean, you can also, what I use sometimes when I do acting in a negotiation training, I can wear a hat, right? Or sometimes I'm also, I can change to be a doctor, right? And then I just dress up somehow, make some fun with, I mean, just real original size props, right? All these things. So I used to do this in online trainings. When you do workshops, maybe you're used to play cards, planning poker. And all these things are like toys. You could use videos and video clips. And what I also remember, what made like live training or live workshops so interesting is you can have food, you can have drinks. There is a mixture of light and shadow. You can use your environment. If there is a hotel, you can go outside, you can go to the lobby, and so on. So I just try to come up with a lot of things that come to my mind that I use, or that I can use, or you can use when you do offline real life workshops, coachings, meetings, trainings, and flowers. Yeah, cool, great idea, thanks. I know that's stereotyping, and I have 2 daughters, but yes, flowers, that's a good idea. I take that from here. So if there's anything else that's missing here, please feel free to edit, okay? Now, let's have a look at the chat, Cheska. What are the votes saying?
Okay, so we have a couple of contenders. I think we chose the top 5 ones in terms of the topics you wanted to take away. So first is around effectively facilitate. Love the music. To effectively facilitate in hybrid situations. That's the first one. There's also something around wanting to get inspired by learning how others bridge the gap between offline and online. Third is around creating more energy when facilitating workshops. It seems to be a quite interesting topic too.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth is how to do role play situations or conversation practice while online. And the
Mm-hmm.
last one is wanting to know how to create intimate or safe spaces. It's quite interesting
Mm-hmm.
topics, guys. Good job.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Now, for the, did you put them somewhere already? The top 5?
yes,
Kenneth?
yes. I have it here. Let me also put it again in chat.
Okay, cool. And I want to be a little bit, I want to dive deeper into this before we move on. So the first two was, I think, like just being inspired. How can I do this in general? That I would like to ask you, whoever you said that, please speak up and let's talk for a moment. What exactly do you mean? What exactly do you want to take out of it? And it would be helpful to focus on a specific situation. Like, how can I do energizers online in a different way and create an atmosphere using, oops, sorry, that's for later, using real world tools. Like when we had the last, I think it was ButterMixer free, when someone said, hey, look, this is, I used to do a game where after the break, someone says something that people should have in their apartment and go run and grab it just to activate them physically. And the last one coming back with a spoon or a cup or a pair of socks is the next one to determine a next item to run for. So please, when we move on now, please try to sharpen this one into a very specific objective. I want to understand how this works. Or I just want to have some exchange. How do you do this? How do you bridge online, offline now today, right? How can you make this more specific maybe? I want to know how you do recaps or lessons learned in an online environment using offline real world tools or props. Okay, that's what I'm going to ask you. Okay, we need to know the names of the top 5 answers in a moment, because what we want to do now is we want to first of all limit you in a way, because we are limited every day. When we go to a room, the room has limits. When we go to an online space, it has limits too. Even Butter, I mean, it's amazing. And all those other tools that you used to know back in the 80s, they can go away, but it has limits too. So what I have a past when I tried to produce music, or I spoke to people who are artists, and a lot of answers that come up with when you are creative is that you limit yourself. Just use one device, one item, or use fewer tools, not more, because you can be, stalling and like freezing by having too many options. And everything I show you today, it's the first time I do this creative stuff in the workshop for creative methods with someone. I learned from a colleague of mine, Henning Patzner. He is a very decorated, marketing guy. And I asked him for advice, and he gave me, okay, you should limit yourself. And then everything I show you is something I learned from him in a workshop on innovation. So for today, when we discuss your objectives, let's limit on an online conferencing tool of your choice, which is obvious what it should be, of course, and then an online whiteboard of your choice. So there is Miro, there's Mural, there are others. Let's use Miro and Butter today, of course. And then think about anything and everything that is in the physical real world that is available or can be made available to your audience, to your participants, to your coachee, to your workshop participants, and so on. Okay? That's what we want, because I don't want us to come up with, oh, I can do this with this tool and that tool, and we're collecting tools. And I think we can also do this and maybe put this into the chat, but I'd rather focus on how can we use real life things offline, physical things like this to create something with my participants, because that's what I convinced of is creates memories. and a lasting experience. Okay. And for this, before we start doing this, I wanted to show you two things. The first thing is what I loved in the workshop is, for example, the combination method. So there are products that are being created by doing crossovers. It's a creativity method. So there is a shoe, there was a sneaker from Adidas once, and it was a crossover with Continental, the tire company. And so the sneaker had a sole that looked like a tire. This, for example, and by the way, Jacob, do you know where this is coming from?
It looks very Copenhagenish.
It is Copenhagenish. It's a butchers and bicycles. It's a trike. So the founders had the idea, okay, let's skip cars entirely. How are people using their cars? Mainly, they're transporting their kids or cargo, but most often they don't use the full space. Copenhagen, I think, is the capital of bicycling in the world, next to the Netherlands, I guess. So how can we combine bicycling and transporting kids and cargo? And they came up with the cargo trike. As a facilitation example, what I use often as an introduction round is there's a quiz, there's a competition, and I want people to use sounds. So there are buzzer games as a facilitator. So please hit the buzzer when you notice this and this. And this combination method is coming, or is a part of the Osborne checklist, or the Scamper method. I guess some of you might know this. It's a checklist. If you Google it, it has like 60 plus entries. But the Scamper, as an abbreviation, is for substitute, combine, adapt, modify, magnify or minify, put to other uses, eliminate, rearrange, or reverse. I gave you some visual examples here. So, for example, you could ask yourself, look, how can I substitute this in my facilitation technique? How can I substitute when I have a role play, was one question. How can I substitute the role play in a real life world? There are two chairs, people sit across from each other. Maybe I'm recording this, they have an objective. How can I do this online? What can I substitute in the real world to transport this to online? How can I combine things, real world, physical world, to do something? How can I adapt something from the real life world and use something to improve my technique in facilitating online? And so on. What could I eliminate? What could I, use to rearrange? Could I do it upside down? Do this first and then the other thing, and not like I used to, and so on. So this is an example. For example, is the elimination method is, why don't we have cars without combustion engines? And then people came up with electric cars. In facilitating, I love, also in trainings, I love the method of silent meetings. You might know this. It's I think it came from Amazon. So sometimes people come in, they're unprepared, and they start discussing the prerequisites of the meeting. So I think Jeff Bezos or someone in Amazon came up with, okay, when the meeting starts, there's a period of time, 7 minutes, where you get a piece of paper, you read it, everyone shuts up, you read it in silence, and then when you're done, we can start the meeting. It's silent meeting. I use this in trainings, for example, when I give people static information. You don't come online providing static information. I mean, it's boring. You can read a book, you can read a website. So I gave people something to read, asked them to comment with stickies, for example, so I could observe them reading and the questions coming, and then I can take the group with their questions from where they started. And I don't need to provide them the full information because everybody, I guess, can read for themselves. So this is the method of silent meetings. Just one quick idea in eliminating the talking and eliminating the need for preparation. Just, as a quick idea. And what we want you to do now, and we want to send you off to breakout rooms in a minute, is to go through a certain process. But before we go into that process, let's have a look at the votings again. Cheska, do you have the names of the top votes?
Yes, it's there already. It's in the sticky notes right beside the group name. So
cool.
yes, it should be. So we
Okay,
have
then
from Absul, Pavu, Abby, Fritz, and Annette from Butter.
Okay, and
Everyone
then
explain through.
I think Pavot had to leave, right?
Yes, I can take probably the one from Pavo first in terms of explaining.
Okay. Okay, cool. Now let's start. Let's go alphabetically. That would be Abi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Abi, can you unmute yourself, please? Hello? Can you talk to me? Yeah.
By the way, you
Okay.
can also
Then,
play around with sounds if you guys want.
yeah. So Abzul, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay.
So you said you want to effectively facilitate in hybrid situations, right?
Yeah, I think that was a bit general, but specifically, it is about maintaining that contact with the either the present or the absent group, depending where you are. You might be in a remote situation as well.
Mhm.
So it's really maintaining that flow.
Mhm.
That that becomes a bit of a juggling act for me.
Okay. Now, if you think from the future and your past experience, and where I do the kitchen test with you, maybe you know it. So if your partner is in the kitchen and you're sitting here right now, and your partner screams at you while maybe creating food for dinner, and, hey Abzul, what do you want to change actually? And you just have one sentence to scream back. What would you say? What is different afterwards when you have the solution? In one sentence, you can just take one breath. How would you answer?
I think just to maintain control, to maintain control and to know that you are in control.
Okay.
You know,
What does control for you mean then?
control for me means that everyone's engaged, and everyone's engaging, and nobody's feeling left out, and or alienated by virtue of the geography or the technology.
Okay, cool. And give me one specific moment in your workshop or training or meeting where you want to have this. Is it a discussion? Is it I try to gather information? What is it?
Yeah, I think when we're trying to get information, even not when we're ideating, but like when we're engaging like this, for example, you lost contact with the first speaker. That's got nothing to do with technology.
Mhm.
If you were face to face, you'd be able to see from his body or from his or her body language as to why they didn't respond to you immediately.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Okay, that could mean, for example, specifically, I want people to have their cameras on so I can see their body language.
Yeah, it could be that. It could be as simple as that, but I think it's a bit more than that.
Okay.
In terms of the control, yep.
Okay, then it's maintaining control and flow and having retain people to be engaged, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, Abzul, pick. I'm just summoning you here on that page. I created that. And by the way, those little figurines there, I have them all here. I just did a photo session one day. When I use this, for example, for a stakeholder mapping exercise. So just grab one of those pictures or icons that appeal to you most, Abzul.
I'm going to take the spider.
The spider. Then just go and put this on. Put this over on the right-hand side to group 2. Let me just go grab it there. Okay, so that's your group. Okay, cool. Thanks. Abzul, can I ask you to head the breakout room in a minute so that you just watch the timing and take your group through a specific process that I'm going to brief you on, okay?
All right.
All right, so Abi, are you there now?
I think Abby might have needed to leave. Or no. Is
Okay.
Abby still there? Abby? Okay, maybe let's take Fritz first. I don't know, Fritz is
Otherwise,
just waiting.
it's a sign of life, Abi, maybe. So Fritz.
Yeah, so mine was more a bit of consuming others' knowledge that is around all that already. So I already give quite a few trainings and workshops. I already work in different offline, online scenarios. But it's always great to see how others do it. You know, like I've seen you playing around with all those little toys, etc.
Yeah.
And it's always inspiring to see how others translate their own character into action, let's say, like this.
Yeah.
So it's more of grasping swarm intelligence here.
Okay, I guess you're going to, but if I can ask you, if I give you my magic stick and it would work, it wouldn't be plastic, right? But if it would work, what would you want to take? What would you want to change for your next training or workshop or what would you want to work better in your next workshop?
For me, it's not better. It's maybe more different. So getting a bit of inspiration, get few experiments where I would say, hey, that's nice. I'll try that. And then take it into the next one and see if that maybe works also for me or for the audience. Also.
Yeah. Okay. Is there a specific moment, like an energizer, an intro, a specific exercise?
For me, not, but maybe for the breakout room we will have then. So maybe there's people that rather have a specific challenge or something like this.
Yeah. Then all I want you to do is to be very specific with your objective.
Yeah.
And that's something that I was, hammered into my head when I had my training, training grown-ups education is, I was asked 1,000 times a day, what is the learning objective? So when I can define my learning objective, in a negotiation training, for example, I want people to be able to hold their arguments and shut up for 10 minutes and prepare great open questions and ask and actually listen. That's a training objective. It's a change of behavior. And I can select methods and tools to achieve that. I can show people, I can tell people, I can make people experience, and then I have a clear objective and I can go for it. So when it's too open and generic, it's probably hard to grasp something. I know you here to wanted to get some inspiration, but maybe you can define one very clear objective in your breakout room. Okay. Fritz, what would be your superhero? Sorry, I just
no worries.
Just interrupting you.
Let me have a look. Wow, there's many cool ones.
Yeah.
I might take the Chewbacca guy here.
Okay, cool. Just go grab it and move it over to the group free thing. Yes. Okay, Chewie. Okay. Then I see there was Annette, right?
Yes.
Annette, you want to create a nice flow and rhythm. What do you mean by that? Yeah, tell us. In what situation do you want to create a nice flow and rhythm? Annette? Can someone hear her, or is it just me, or?
Annette still with us? No.
I think she just refreshed.
She just might have. Yep. There might have been a problem. Let's go with Björn. So kindly. There. Now you're there. Perfect.
Okay, Annette. Okay.
Hey, we might be having a bit of technical difficulties with Annette. Maybe Björn, you want to take the slot first? Björn is so game to volunteer his team.
Sure.
Thank you.
But I wrote.
Can you hear me now?
Oh,
yes.
Perfect. I'll let Annette take this.
I'm so sorry. For some reason, my mic just went away and the whole thing restarted. So great. Are we still talking about why I wrote what I wrote?
No. Just to understand deeper what you wrote. So you said you want to create a nice flow and rhythm. In what kind of context? In a meeting, in interview situation, training, workshop?
I guess more in terms of facilitating any kind of meeting or a workshop itself. And my specific kind of context was, how do you create the flow and rhythm in a completely unknown environment? So people that you haven't really worked with before, where you're a little bit unsure as to what would be the best sort of way to go about these meetings or facilitation pieces, if that makes sense.
When you say unsure environment, do you mean you don't know the people or you don't know the technical environment?
Unknown. I meant unknown. I guess that's what I said. So people that you haven't really worked with before.
Okay, so it's about
context.
getting to know other people and create a nice flow there, right? Is Annette still there, or was I alienating her right now? I hope not. Okay. So
I am trying to think through what you said.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm too pushy. I apologize.
Not still with us. I think there might have been a bit of a Annette. You might be on mute at the moment.
Okay.
In any case, I think we can try with did everyone sort of understand the gist from Annette though? Maybe a quick thumbs up would be awesome.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Annette, can you pick your hero or heroine from the board? I'm just going to summon you here.
Summon me, please.
So are you on the Miro board, and do you see those? Okay. Who's your pick? What's your pick? What is it? Too many options, or what is it? Okay, she's writing into the chat. Let us know. Yeah.
Awesome. And I think we have one last one.
Yeah. So let's try Abby again. Are you there? Otherwise, we take.
Yeah. I think Abby is not with us right now, so maybe Björn.
Okay.
Possible.
Yeah, Björn, just give us a little context for your sticky, please.
Yeah, no, of course, no, but I always approach workshop as being fun and engaging, and that's what creates the memory and make people come up with good ideas, right? But I struggle when it's offline online to get the same engagement from people that are maybe in a meeting room together, as contrary to people that are working from home, just because I'm now using, for example, Butter or these fun tools, right? And they work just much better when you're alone in front of your computer, right? So
you have a mix of people, and they're in a meeting room and a group, and then there are others at home using a video conferencing tool like Butter.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So online, and that's very interesting. And offline participants. Okay, so pick your superhero.
Oh, my Yoda is not in the background again, so I'll take the Yoda in Butter instead. I'm in the middle of a move, so everything's a mess in here. But you would have seen the Yoda.
There's a Yoda icon, so I just go.
Amazing. He doesn't look very happy, but that's okay. I'll take it.
You take care of that, okay? I just use the icon search. I also have a Yoda picture in my Lego collection, but it's not on this board because I didn't want to crowd it so much.
It's okay.
For those features. Okay. So can I ask all of you, Afzul, Fritz, Annette, and Björn, to be heading the breakout sessions in a moment? Yes?
Yep, start.
And let me just, if you open up the frame navigation, you can go there pretty quickly, but also set up links, and I'm going to show you in a minute. So first of all, here's your briefing. So when you go to the breakout room, we will set up a timer for you. We will join you briefly, Cheska and I, to open the Miro again for you. So it needs to be reopened in the breakout room. And then please define your objective as clearly as possible. What is it that's supposed to be different afterwards through that technique that you want to develop? Then ask yourself, what kind of category or technique is this? Role play, it's quite clear, which we had, but we don't work on right now. But do you want to have an energizer? Is it generally through the course of a workshop? Is it, well, saying goodbye, saying hello? This is, specify your category. What exactly is it that you're going to work on, kind of technique? And then ask yourself, if you look at this Osborne matrix or this Scamper method, what could be helpful? How could we combine anything that people should have at home with that? How could we combine people in an online meeting and an offline meeting room using Butter to work together on something? What could we do to activate people? Can we combine things? Can we eliminate things? Can we take things away? Can we modify things and so on? There are some guiding questions for each of those things that I've been writing down on one of the slides here in the middle. You will soon see what the middle means. And then as a group, just go wild. Plaster your worksheet that you're going to get with stickies. What could be a fun idea? How could you bring all of this together? And then when you're done, identify the most appealing idea, and then you can work on the details. And there are some guiding questions in the section 7 to sum up and present your idea in a moment. So there's something going on in the chat. Did I miss something?
It's just a couple of questions from people on the limitations and direct
Okay,
listening,
yeah,
but
cool.
should be
Yeah,
okay.
it's 200. You will see that on ButterMixer 10. So, and then let me open some boards for you. And I'm just going to grab all of you to group number 1, and you see this is the board I prepared for you. You can zoom in. Maybe you can take the orange sticky and write down your objective, and then go through the process 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And you have in total like 10 minutes time, and we give you 2 minutes buffer, and then it's exactly 2 p.m. I guess. And then I hope you all have the time to be able to just present this real quick to us. For the presentation, there are some guiding questions here. So what is the starting situation? What's the objective? What did you come up with? What is it? How does it work? What do you need? Online, offline ingredients to make it work. And when you want to see this, and I'm trying to summon you here, those real life things, again, there are links in the Miro board. So if you click on that link, you should be able to go back to, somehow it doesn't work with me right now, to those slides where you, I've shown you this mind map, and some of you, thank you, already added things on it. What are the categories and techniques? What are the offline tools that I could use, and how could we bring this together? Okay. And so could I maybe ask Yoda, Björn, did you stay in the main room? And then we set up 3 other breakout rooms. So there's group 2 is Spider-Man, Avzul, right? Fritz is group 3 of Chewie, and Annette, you are, what is that, Captain America?
Captain America, yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 daughters. I'm not so familiar with the Marvel Universe, I have to admit. You just had group 4 and speak about flow and rhythm, okay?
Awesome. We're starting to break out in a bit now, so everyone has been grouped already. And if you guys have any questions, just feel free to put it on chat. All right? And then
yeah, hold on, Jessica. All those rooms are open?
Yes, yes, yes.
So everyone should be able to walk into each room, but maybe we can make sure when you notice we are 18 people now.
Yes.
By 4, it should be 4 or 5 people in each room. When it's more than that, please try to redistribute. We ask you kindly, and trust the group intelligence.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yep. So everyone will be put into the rooms, and if you guys also want to jump from room to room, that's also possible with this. But we'll see you in a bit. Start breakout now.
All right.
Okay.
So, and Björn, you maybe just stay here, and those people who want to join Björn and work.
Hey, Björn. I think you should be in the... Hey, Andreas. We just jump from room to room now for the Miro boards, but it should be okay. Wait,
so I'll leave the Miro board open in here, right?
Thank you.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
I was sent to another room. It was a strange experience. Sent and kicked out.
But you're all right here, Björn? All good with the instructions and everything?
So it's.
I think you have Susanna here with you and Matthew, actually, and then 2 people from the Butter team as well, who will be just observing, by the way. FYI.
I think I'm here as well, but I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure out the platform.
Okay.
Am I?
Yes, you also are here, Josephine. Yeah.
Good.
One moment.
Okay. So
amazing, but should we take the post-it that we had previously and put in here then?
I'm going to grab it for you, Björn.
Okay.
Oh,
so,
it is there already. Okay.
Okay, I'll just put it.
Cool.
Andreas, we might just need you to go to room 1 and 2 to open the mirror board.
So I go there, right?
Yes, it's in the above one, the main room, and then just jump in.
I'm just joining Spider-Man and then walk along. Thanks.
Cool. Thank you.
Amazing, but let's run this then. And did everyone understand my point? And can you relate to it with running this workshop with maybe people from all across the world, maybe other offices where they're in a group, or even other people by themselves in front of their computers? So
I don't know if I summon you on that. I hope you all find it. Are you?
Whatever, and we could focus on one of those challenges for sure as well.
Hey Fritz, sorry, we're just jumping from room to room now to open the Miro, but in case you guys need it, I also put it on the, oh perfect, Gisela put it on the chat. It should be there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That way you can just share the screen and work on it.
Awesome. Let me put you in as a co-facilitator, guys, so you can sort of control the room if that works. Fritz, you should have access now. Same with
Are you saying
Gisela.
that you cannot see the mirror board from a breakout room?
Sorry?
Are you saying that we cannot see in
we should be able, like here now we can. It's just that the facilitators need to open it. Yeah.
Okay.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
Facilitator can open it. Okay, good to know.
And if you
This is
guys have
great.
any questions, just feel free to ping over chat, all right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thanks, Jessica.
No problem. Okay. Hey guys, all good here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, we're all good.
Cool. They've also just opened the one in the other board. And if you guys have questions, just feel free to ping over. I'll put, maybe Afsol, I'll put you as a co-facilitator, so you also can play around in case.
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask a question. I was interested in working on the crowd engaging workshops, like the hybrid set of online, offline. Is it okay if I move to another room, or is it too late?
Yeah, that's completely fine. So you can actually just jump in. So you should be able to see the room numbers on top and jump into the other room.
Okay, I think it's full, so I can't see it, but it's okay. I will figure it out.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Behind the rest or something like that.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think that's my experience for sure with having people a bit everywhere, maybe on different time zones and things like that as well. That we're not always synced in terms of creativity and you know, just being engaged in the workshop. Is this specific enough, what we're talking about here?
I think for me, like there's just a confusion with the two last kind of topics. Is like, are we talking about in those contexts only in an online environment, or are you still talking about the hybrid one? Because it's, to me, two very, very different topics which needs to be approached very differently.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's more of a hybrid problem in this case, right? The issue is when you're in a hybrid setting where you're online and other people might be in a physical state as well, right? But maybe that's just a very edgy case I'm in.
No, I mean, but to me that is. So I think for this exercise we just need to agree on what we're focusing on.
online and offline
having fun
people
together.
both.
Like this is one thing you can, if you want to keep this up.
Yeah, no, you're completely right. I wrote a bit quickly there. Yeah.
Which I think is very valid. Because, okay.
Yeah, because then you can also connect on that level, right? If everyone's having fun, you can assume that's. Yeah.
Shall we move to the next step?
Yes. What kind of category is this?
Well, maybe if I can jump here in here, Björn, I guess
of course.
that's you can probably have that question for everything. Saying hi, introducing
what I'm
people,
saying.
exercising something, practicing something.
Maybe
if I
we are
can
not even
suggest
with the
that
category
we just
yet.
focus on, let's say, getting to know people, introductions when people don't know each other. Is that your context? People don't know each other? Like it's sometimes for me in the training, I come into the training and the people coming in there, they don't know each other. Or do you have a setting where people do know each other? And you just
I'm more in an internal setting, I would say personally, where we all know each other, but we're coming into it. It's a creative workshop, more to find a solution to a problem.
Okay, so introducing is not the issue. So when you have a creative workshop, what is supposed to be the outcome?
A plan or a set of action items that we can, or a source of inspiration to then create a plan. So it would be the beginning of of a plan.
Okay, let's do an upside down exercise. So when you do this today, where is the moment where you feel people do not have fun?
I mean,
what are you missing then? Let me ask that question. What are you missing?
Everyone to be on the same page, maybe. Everyone to be engaged in the topics.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does it show?
Disengagement during, or lack of ideas, lack of engagement during the workshop, probably.
I think to me, like one of the things that have become very clear when we started to try out the hybrid modules is the difference in time it takes to perform an exercise online and the time it takes to take it in a group. So when we did our calculations, we said, okay, for the same exercise to do it online, for example, when we worked on a mission statement, it takes the double amount of time to do it for an online group versus a physical group, meaning that the physical group would start to fade off and you lose their engagement. You always have to start engagement. So that's, I mean, like Rob on Björn's point, like on them having fun, that's when it's impacting like how people feeling about it. And often the people who are in the physical room might feel that they wasted a lot of time.
Okay. Cool. Now, so you need to combine the people in the offline world and the online world, and the first learning you had is it takes more time, right? You need to bridge that digital gap, so to speak, right? Okay.
I have an appointment at 2. I'm already late. It was a pleasure.
Honestly, me too, but I'm running this, so I basically might have to stay.
You are doing great. Keep it up.
Bye, guys. I would say let's vote. Can I put a voting here? Only board. Okay. But maybe.
Sorry, maybe specify the quality of the contact that you are pursuing. You need a minimum, quality of contact.
What do you think? What ideas do you have?
It's a good question.
One of the things that we started to work a lot with is preparation. So like as a facilitator, you have to do a little bit more of the work. So like setting up the boards and making sure everything is kind of organized so that the entry level is very low for the online participants. So like, yeah, you're kind of saving them some of the time in the admin processes and letting them have more time into the creative processes.
Now, but I think you said, how can this be more fun? How could you, accessing boards, how could you maybe provide information, make more fun? Let me I just push you in the direction now. I'm sorry, but just to give you an idea, how could you use anything that people should have in the kitchen? Because I guess there's also a kitchen in the company where the meeting room is. So combine something from a kitchen with providing information and making it more fun. What ideas do you have? What comes to mind? And just brainstorm. Do not evaluate. Just think about what could it be. How could we use?
Hey guys, doing all good here?
Yeah, seems like.
Cool. We just have like around 30 seconds to go, so just heads up in case you guys need a bit more time.
Okay, no, I guess we found our order.
Okay, cool. Is wait, who's the guest? Helmi still with us? No, not anymore.
Okay, so if we head out of the breakout room, thanks to the crowd. Thanks, Gisela.
Thank you for facilitating.
Thanks.
On point.
Thanks. See you in the main room
soon. See you.
Okay, bye.
Okay.
Hey guys, doing all good here? I think we only have a couple of seconds or around.
Oh yeah, we're not even out of the starting blocks yet.
Okay. Then maybe while we're all, if you guys don't mind, we can, like, if you can run to the main room in like a minute or so, that would be amazing. Okay. Then.
All right. Okay.
See you. Bye.
You folks in the meeting room, you use this thing. Because the question is, when you say I want to add more fun, I would say is what is fun for what makes fun? How can we as grown-ups have fun in this kind of setting, even though we're still professionals, right? So would that help you? Just the way of thinking, Björn. I know that's not a solution to this very general question, but
No, for sure. And I mean, tools like Butter already makes it a little, like, they do some of this for you in a way. So that helps a lot into making it engaging. The music, the soundboard, the reactions, the questions, etc. But yeah, it's really bringing it into that meeting room where it might not be as fun and playful as in Butter, right? Or if there's 3 people on one computer, they might not interact with it in the same way.
But look, I mean, are they in the same country, your participants?
Not always. It depends. It's complex. The world is complex.
Because, for example, just yesterday, I'm going to start a coaching training. I'm training to be a coach starting tomorrow. And I received a big package yesterday, and they sent me a cup. They sent me a glass with something inside, which I'm not supposed to unpack until tomorrow. They sent me a piece of paper and a pen and a couple of other things, a string. I don't know what they want to do with the string. But everyone has the same thing, whether they are meeting in a live environment, and there are some, or whether we meet online. And so you level the playing field by sending people things. On one of the previous butter mixes I mentioned, I did this last year. I sent little boxes with Lego bricks to people. And in each box were the same Lego bricks. And then we asked them to open the box in the training online or in the meeting room, and then do an exercise with this and build something and have instructions to build a little car out of those bricks. And it was a fun moment, and they get to keep that as a reminder on their desk. But we were using like real life things to send it to them, and then activating them. And that's easier to remember than, oh, it was on slide 15 and in the bottom left, right?
Sorry.
Jessica.
I just because I know we're running a bit over time, and Fritz, I think, has a meeting. And he's the presenter for group 3. So maybe we can, I'll usher in people from the other breakout and we present soon. That's fine.
Yeah. So do you go to the other breakout room and bring people over? Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yes.
All right.
Got ideas and we're not writing them down.
Guys, we might really need to end the breakout. I hope you don't mind because the other people have prior meetings that were scheduled. But I'll end its breakout
Okay.
now just so that you don't get surprised. All right. See you. Bye.
All right. So we have to leave the breakout room now.
I
How
just
do we do
ended
that?
it. No, no worries. It'll transport
Oh,
you
you
back
just.
in 2 seconds. See you.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I think everyone's here now in the breakout, so we can.
Okay, cool. So Jessica, shall we close the mirror?
Yeah, sure. If everyone's okay with presenting without it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're not, just let us know. So can I ask Björn first, what was your key insight? Or what was your result from that discussion?
Yeah,
What did
so
you take out?
I mean, the problem was how to make it more fun for both online and offline environments. And we were discussing a little bit, for example, using things that everybody had at home. So, for example, a glass, and if they want to take the word to cling on the glass as they would do physically, or raise up their hand as they would do physically, but also maybe prepare before the session with a package, send them over something that they could use during the workshop. I think that could be a really successful and a bit more fun. Yeah, I mean, all these, those were suggestions that Andreas at least came up with as well, a suggestion. But yeah, I mean, spontaneously, I'm even thinking like, why not send a couple of, for us, it's very internal, so we can do a bit more fun things, right? But we could send a couple of beers and have something related to that, or everybody could buy their own things just before the session, and we could do something fun out of that.
And I see, let me just applaud you, Björn. I see you get the idea. You start thinking like, how can we combine this? And basically what you mentioned, a friend of mine is doing this. He has a workshop today, and then they have 2 hours of informal time in the evening where they send people to half-an-hour breakout rooms in small, like 3 or 4 people groups, and they all receive from their company a package with a nice glass of wine, like a nice glass and a bottle of wine. And then they drink this together. Someone told me in the leadership training, they were having an online cooking session. So everybody was in the kitchen with their iPads or laptops, and they received a HelloFresh package, it's called here in Germany, and then they started cooking. And had lots of fun. How awkward this guy is cutting the onions and what this guy is doing there. Okay, Fritz, you need to leave.
Yeah, sorry. I'm in a meeting since 11 minutes, and as you talked about German being in time, I usually am. As I'm also German, I grew up in Berlin, and I really need to head over to the next session.
Okay, go to the meeting. Let's stay connected and maybe grab some of the ideas. Cool.
Okay. Bye.
So,
thanks, guys.
Go there, Fritz.
Bye.
Okay. Okay. Who was in Fritz's group? Let me ask that.
Quick round, guys. No? Does anyone remember who was with Fritz? No.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Maybe you can take it first. Thank you.
Yeah. Can you give us some insights, please? Hello. Who was saying yes?
I was saying, okay, if that's maybe we move to Afsul's while we're waiting for Fritz's room.
Yeah.
Yeah. We spent some time discussing the problem, with some real life examples, and we didn't get an opportunity to go through the entire process, but we came up. There were some ideas that were proposed by the group. For example, Mariana, just repeat your idea first. I'm sorry, I'm going to call Mariana in.
Hi,
Can you
I don't know if
just,
you can hear me.
sorry.
I hope you don't hear my dog. So we were saying about using any tool that all the participants, both live and online, they could access, such as Mentimeter, and to keep in contact with them on the same way.
Yeah.
Also, to use a co-facilitator, that would be maybe nice if the co-facilitator was online, and also maybe include double screens, one that the facilitator could look at, and the other one that all the participants could look at. If I mean, it will depend on the way that the room is.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah.
I think that's all right. So I don't know if I missed something.
And there was the using a co-facilitator that might be online with online participants, because the specific example we used was where the facilitator is in person with a group of people, and there are disparate people joining online, and the facilitator doesn't have direct contact with them.
Yeah.
So to have a co-facilitator online with those people. Yep.
So in that real,
Thanks, Mariana.
And I can only agree. I spoke with a couple of my colleagues, and when you have the real hybrid setting, so people in a live room and online, you have a lot of questions to clarify, like cameras, microphones, can we hear them well, are they transmitted well, and so on. And I can only agree that when the group is large enough, it makes absolute sense to have a co-facilitator, but also try to level the playing field, like you said, Mariana, using Mentimeter. I can use that on my cell phone. Or we had with another client, we had the idea of giving everyone an iPad, so that also the people in the meeting room can use their iPads at least to work on a joint Miro board, or are with their iPads in the same conference, and then just one of them has maybe a microphone access, and it takes the sound from all of them in the meeting room into one of the speakers, so they can discuss in the room and the rest can hear that. I had a training once where two of my participants were sitting in a meeting room in a company. And then I also had to think around, okay, now let's put them in a group, of course, but hey, when you discuss amongst yourself, please unmute and share with everyone. And then something I learned in Anna's previous organization is also a key learning for me from last year, is the difference between shotgun and rifle questions. So the shotgun question is, you ask into the room, hey, who is saying something about this? And then there's this awkward moments of silence. But you need to ask rifle questions. So I ask you directly. So Björn, what do you think? Paula, what do you think? Andrea, where are you? I can't see you. Susanna, what about you? That's a nice earring you have, and so on. So you have to address people directly, which I learned as a rifle question. I don't like the weaponry in there, but you either spread shots or shotgun questions don't work online, and probably they also don't work in hybrid environments. So we need to address people directly. Key learning. So if I then take this further and think about how can I bridge this, can we use some props? Maybe there is this microphone in Butter. Can we just give them a mock microphone in the room, so they also hold it up and show in the camera and, hey, I want to say something, like this. So that's what I can say. It's even if you feel it's sometimes, this is the speaking fairy or something. Yes, it's childish, but childish is fun. If you remember your childhood, I hope it was fun because you got to play a lot. So why can't we incorporate play or more play using these little things in whatever you're doing, like facilitating meetings, trainings, and workshops. And that's, I think my core message is just make it more playful and trust your audience. Maybe give them a task. Okay, go find the nearest toy that you have in your apartment. What could you use as a toy in the meeting room to play in this situation, right? Okay. So thanks, Afzul. Was there anything else that you brainstormed?
Just shared, something that we've also used to maintain contact was just setting up a parallel WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
And shooting messages through that WhatsApp group in case of problems, but even just light and livelies during the workshop, to keep people engaged.
Yeah, and what also I sometimes I like it. I put so you keep engagement high, and if you want people to engage, I think one of the questions before was, and people had to leave, I think, how to create intimacy. Is that you either use one-on-one chats, or you just, and that we are again, one of you said it takes more time when we do this. So when we know this, why don't we take the time? Let's take the space and send people off. Look, we paused this meeting for a second. I want you to make a WhatsApp call and go outside. Take your partner, go outside for a walk. And a friend of mine told me that he was doing this in a workshop. So he sent people out to walk for half an hour and discuss a specific leadership question on the phone, walking outside in the park.
Walking.
Yeah, that's the only thing you can do right now. Just go outside if it's allowed, right? And then just go outside, have a phone call, one-on-one, talk to each other, 2 guiding questions, and then you come back and share back your results. And that's another idea, just using what you have out there. It's not gone, even if we're online, right? All those devices, tablets, cell phones, we can use it. You can take your laptop to the kitchen. I had a friend of mine, just one final story. Sorry, Cheska, I know we're running over time. He told me he had a leadership training, and then he asked them all to upload a picture of their desk and how it looks like and how it looks below their desk. And some of them sent a picture and said, look, I'm sorry, I have 3 children and my wife is also working in a video conference, and the only quiet space in my apartment is my bathroom, so I'm sitting in the shower. And then, so this guy was sitting in the shower, but this is something, this creates intimacy and closeness when you want to relate to people. And I was also sharing that was a great moment because everyone could relate. Yeah, I have also 2 daughters in homeschooling. There are easier days in my life, right? So people can relate and people find something they have in common. Okay. So Cheska, I apologize. I run heavily into overtime.
I hope everyone's still okay, and I'm glad everyone, or at least the people who are still here, really stepped on, because Andreas, you do have a lot of really great stories and insights. So I hope everyone learned from it, from all the anecdotes from Andreas. And thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy with all of us. I know you put a lot of thought into the exercise as well in the whole session. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And maybe if you like, Cheska, we can make the link to the Miro board available to the participants.
Yes.
So you can take it.
Thanks.
And also
I was just going to ask that here.
And, go through the process on your own, or I can. I used frames already. I can make a quick PDF, and you can share that if you like.
That would be amazing. Yeah.
And then I just need to put in a copyright notice for my friends' visuals, but that's not a thing. But then just try the process for yourself, and if you want, share your results or your questions with the Butter community, or just hit me up on LinkedIn directly, and let's get to talk.
Yeah.
Right.
What might be nice, I'll at the end of the session, I'll also link your LinkedIn already, and then people can share. Like if you guys do the exercise at the end or after this session, do feel free to share it in the comments. That would be nice.
Or questions. Yes. Cool. Great.
Cool. Thank you so
Many
much,
thanks.
Andreas. Thanks, guys, and thanks everyone for joining. I think that's most of the session for now. We won't go through the debriefing already, but I'm super duper grateful for everyone for sharing their time, especially Andreas. And I hope you guys learned a lot. Okay, and hope to see you in the next one.
Yeah. Let me say goodbye in a super childish way. Okay. So hope to see you around next.
That's excellent. That's excellent.
Cool.
That's the thing that everyone would remember. Thank you, Andreas.
Yeah. I mean, this is how it stays, right? Okay, cool. Thanks for having me. See you around.
See you. Bye.